Open my eyes, seeing to things I never dreamed would flow. Open my eyes, seeing to things that I never dreamed would glow. Open my eyes, seeing to things I never dreamed would go. Open my eyes, seeing to things that I never dreamed would grow.
Hi, my charms. It's your fave, Kayla B, connecting you with thee. Talk that talk with me. On today's menu is
heavy downloads, right? I got some heavy downloads because I thought about it. I said, so this is a whole cycle of craziness. A whole cycle of craziness. Because I just be looking at things from like a different perspective. And it just be interesting. Like very, very, very interesting. What do I mean by that, Kayla B? Like, girl, what is you trying to say? The things that go around the world, you know, the things that be going on around the world, it is, I was trying to think of another word other than crazy, but I wanted to say bogus, but I'm going to go with my regular deadly, which is insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same results. It's like, ugh, why are we doing it? So look, I was thinking about like soldiers when they go to war and they fight for their country. And nothing against the soldiers, you know what I mean? Nothing against them as far as them fighting for what they believe in. I feel like us as humans should definitely, us as the people should definitely take a few notes on that when it comes to the mindset of fighting for what you believe in. You have to really put it to action. Like, words are sometimes not enough to fuel the boat or, you know, like fuel things to its highest potential. So you have to combine a few things to make the plan more elaborate. But soldiers, right, like they fight for what they believe in, as well as the commands that are given. Like, you know, it's all like a discipline. Like, usually people, you know, like you get in trouble, you get grounded. Some people go to the extent of sending you to the army, you know, like you really used to be like that back in the day, and it used to be worse than that because it used to be forced. It used to be forced. We're just gonna stop there. It used to be forced. Like, everything, what I'm trying to get to is saying that everything is controlled. Everything is controlled. It's a controlled thing. So if everything is controlled, that means that there is someone pulling the strings, right? It's a ringleader. And usually that's how things go. There's always something behind the mask. Why is it that people wear masks? Obviously, yes, to not be seen, but why wouldn't you want to be seen for something that you put forth the willpower to believe in and work towards? Because most of the things that are being done is actually an illusion to something bigger. What do you mean by that, Kayla B? It's like what's being done is an action towards something bigger. If I wanted to get my point across with something or make something into reality, but I didn't know how I would do it, because I know that if I did it, then I would get a lot of backlash from it. So I hide, my face. I hide my presence, and it's all about being sneaky. And that's what they do. They're sneaky, so sneaky, because everybody is fooled. I had a podcast I did, and I talked about basically how we come into this world with nothing, but yet we yearn for everything. And it's like, how do we come into this world claiming what land is whose land? How do we come into this world already having to fight battles that we didn't create? Like, when it comes down to wars that go on around this world, that's why I speak about the army. Because the only reason they're able to be wars and things is because people sign up for the participation to be a part of it. Obviously not just for a cookie, it's for a bigger reason, right? But think about the biggest reason. Like, what are we fighting over? What's theirs and what's ours? When again, the bigger picture is we did not come into this world. We came into this world with nothing. Yet this is mine, that's mine, this is mine. But then it's like, when you die, nothing is yours. So how can you claim things to be yours when before you was here, it was already someone else's? It's like a cycle. It's like, it is. It is. It's a cycle. And it's all going in a circle. It's crazy, but believable. And it's like, you gotta really think into that cranium. Think into that dome. That mindset. It's a mindset thing. But you gotta actually seek it. What you seek is seeking you, okay? And it's like, that's the craziest thing. We have all of these wars. And we're fighting over land. We're fighting over this. We're fighting over that. We're fighting over A and B. And then we got C and D over here. And EDFG and HIJK. Dang, can't forget element of B. Dang, QRS, I see you. TUOB. WX, Y, and Z. Like, the whole thing. Like, all of that. That's ours. How? How are you claiming something that was never meant to be yours to keep? My thing is, everybody wants things long term, but not even knowing that even your life is unlimited time. Like your physical, like all these physical things that we claim is ours, like that's unlimited time. People are so focused on something that's not gonna matter, like later on. Because how I know that your soul still lives on is because even though something is absent, it's still thought of. Think about every family member, every ancestor that passed away. You are still able to think of them even though they're physically not here. You're still able to feel them if you have that connection and feel their presence while just looking at an item of theirs, even though they're physically not here. But you can spiritually and energetically feel it. Feelings. Feelings are like nerves. Nerves are throughout the whole entire body. But you can't just see your nerves, right? It's within. So that would for sure, again, be another testimony of why I would say always focus on what's within. Because everything sources from within. In the end, everything matters from within. A soul within the body. A soul within the body. But I just have to put that out there because You know, I'll be all over the place. But seriously, we're fighting wars. People are risking their lives for a made up rumor that everybody's wrong in, because none of this is ours. None of it. And now people are sending their kids, or even their kids are mentally just preparing themselves and physically preparing themselves to attend a battle that they did not create, to attend a battle that is a whole illusion, to attend a battle over something that will cost them their life. Like, I feel like that sacrifice is needed through the process of becoming more whole within yourself. But the sacrifice of a life, I don't believe that is needed. And that cycle has been going on for billions of years, I'm pretty sure. Like, all of these wars, like, it's like you be fighting over things that weren't yours. I guess, like, in a way, yes, you inherited, you know, the land from your ancestors and things like that. But in reality, just as a, not even as a human race, just all things, it's just like, it's like the food chain. But it's just interesting because I don't know who created just wars to be the way that they are, like, to break out, to now it got me thinking. I wonder who was the first person to lie ever in the world. Like, because if everybody just only could tell exactly how they felt and move exactly how they were supposed to, like, I wonder who told the first lie. Maybe that's when a war broke out. That was the first war, and that was a spiritual war. I'm on to something. So now, as so above, below, since that was a spiritual war in the spiritual realms, actually, maybe it wasn't a lie. Maybe it was a disagreement between two people who just happened to not agree on the same thing, and they got so heated that it began to be lies, because one person felt this way and another person felt that way, and even though they were both right, they both looked at it like the other person didn't see them for them, because they had a different perspective than them. And if they're used to always having the same perspective, but this time they don't have the same perspective, then that can cause someone to, you know, split apart and create their own ways of doing things, and then your own ways of doing things, and just kind of create a rift within the connection. And I just feel like that was the first spiritual war, and that's why we have wars. Like I said, it's so above, below. So what happened in the spiritual ended up happening to us in the physical. Just like the same thing with Jesus and Adam and Eve, because I thought I said, wait, Adam and Eve was God's kids as well. But Adam and Eve was more so in, like, the spiritual realm. And then I'm like, wait, but Jesus was God's begotten son. But Jesus is more physical. So it has you thinking, like, okay, like, if those all were if those all were God's kids, then, you know, putting two and two together, that would mean that before there was Jesus, there was Adam and Eve. And if Adam and Eve came first, then that means that we all were supposed to be in the spiritual realm and not in this physical world. This physical world was created out of the casualty of the war that broke out on the disagreement to create two different ways of living and moving and being. So that was just the most interesting part, that we're fighting a war that's not really a war. Like, people are risking their lives for a war that in reality is being passed down to generations. Just imagine if the whole world was kumbaya. If we was all just able just to work together to make this world better. But like, then it got me thinking, like, what would we discover? How would that be? How would that look like? What would that look like? Just for the world to be kumbaya all together as one and not like in competition with each other. Like, will we be so united that other planets get jealous? Like, I don't know. Who really knows? But it's just a very interesting thing to talk about and think about. And these are the conversations that are needed to be had. But that was just a heavy download that I had about just the wars and how these things go on and how it really matters. Like, I get it. Like, I get it from all perspectives as far as why we fight these wars. Because, I mean, if we didn't, somebody would not be here, you know? But that's the thing, though. Once we're not here, it's just like, dang, I just risked my whole life to live for that. A never-ending war that eventually people, you know, like, everything is kind of like wear and tear. Like, eventually either armies get super stronger throughout the years or they get super weak throughout the years. And it's like risking your life for it it's honorable, for sure. That's what I should have started with before, but it's very honorable. But it's also like, yeah, thinking bigger than the picture you were introduced to, for sure. And that's what I like to do. But that's just me, Kayla Just Be. Continue to stay connected and always leave room for knowledge and growth. Kayla Just Be.